Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I will not lie to you. This woolly nylon thread is a bear to thread in your machine. But I'm sure it's going to be a bear to thread into any machine. So definitely make sure you have your little friend here. Usually I just eye it, and this definitely needs lots of patience. Anyway, I have my notes here that I wanted to tell you. Okay, and I did go ahead and label. Of course, you can't see it now. Oops. I labeled upper and lower looper, and I also, on the side here, you'll see in a couple minutes the differential stitch length and stitch width. I've never had to worry about what in the world all these things were. I just left it at factory settings, I believe, or I may have done some kind of tutorial on the YouTube with the brother instructional videos, and it told me or exactly where to leave it for knits and for cottons really, and I've never had to worry about it. But for this I have to mess around with the tensions, because usually I'm on all fours. This is what it usually looks like, and if my kids happen to play with it, I know exactly where to put it back and all that. But for nylon swimsuits, it tells me on the internet at ehow.com, which is the only place I could find how in the world to set up my serger, which is really weird. I can't believe that other people aren't searching for this information. But for the lower looper, it says to put it between a 1 and a 2. So I'll put it at about 1.5. The upper looper needs to be at an 8. And the top stitch needs to be at a 4. Don't know if you can see. I have 3 threads going here. I was going to use woolly nylon on all 3 threads, but I was reading also on ehow.com that you should only use woolly nylon in the upper and lower loopers. So I have my normal serger thread in the top stitch. Okay, let's see here. And I have my needle on the left, and I'm going to turn it up. And here's my tail. Sorry. My tail. You always have a tail going. You don't ever cut it off at the foot. You always have at least a 3 or 4 inch tail, especially sewing nylon fabric. I read anyway, because you are going to have to put some fray check on the ends, and with a yarn or tapestry needle, the ones with the really big eyes, you're going to have to weave this back into the serged seam so that it doesn't come out. I have been having a really hard problem with practice pieces so far, and I have not tried this setting yet. So you are going to witness if it works or not. Let's see here. Okay, let me switch all this around. Let me put this back where I usually have it, and bring my computer over this way. And while you're at it, you can see my new sewing room that my husband made for me. He's so awesome. Okay, let's get everything out of the way. Sorry, my finger. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I am human. I make lots and lots of mistakes and oopses. So, bear with me. See? Okay. So, as you can see, I labeled the differential, stitch length, and stitch width. Okay, according to my notes, the stitch length needs to be at the 1.5, which is the R. And the differential I am supposed to lower because my normal is 1. So I'm going to put it at 0.7. And it looks like the stitch width, I couldn't find anything on it, so we will see if that works or not. It should. I really don't know if we need a really, really narrow stitch. Also, this is the blade up and down. Because if you don't know it, sergers have a blade to cut off the extra fabric or your, what do they call it? Your seam allowance. If you have an extra seam allowance above 1/4 inch, which we do not. So I always have the knife. If you can't see it, it's hard to see. But I try to have it in the highest setting before I turn it off, because that is my guide. If you can see it. See that little... you can't see the curve. It's behind this, but you can see the up and down right there. Okay, so now we have everything all squared up, and I will put my little catch tray. I mean, it's not going to catch anything right now. It's just a habit I have. And then I have a piece of practice. Let's see here. Let's fold this like this. So I have 2 pieces, so I can make sure that that is what I'm doing. And actually, can't see this. I don't know if I can move the camera. This is going to be tough. It's not going to work. There is a little tiny guide there in front of, I believe this is the upper looper, the little guy, and the needle. There's a little guide that shows you, there's a notch, and that's where I put my fabric to start. Now, to make sure everything is lined up, and I put the foot down. And I've also read that you pull back very slightly on the fabric while it's being serged so it does not pucker. So we're starting out with my loose 0 tension tail just for the practice piece. But it needs to be at least 3 to 4 inches at the beginning and at the end. So let's do a practice run. My other is raveling away here. Okay, that's a much, that is so much nicer than what I was getting. This is what I was getting when I tried the regular settings. And if you, I had to tie the ends, because if you stretch it, one of the threads will come undone and everything will just come out. So that's why I started searching. Okay. That isn't a 3 or 4 inch. Whoa. Okay. Wow. But that is much, much nicer. And when it goes in the, when you hand wash it and dry it, I believe the woolly nylon will tighten up a ton, or not a ton, but enough to make it a very nice seam. That's what we're looking for, I believe. That's very nice. Okay. Oh, I better stop touching this before I unravel my whole entire. Okay. So, that is how you serge your pieces. I really don't know if there's anything else I can show besides boring old me slaving away and talking to myself and talking to the serger if something messes up. So I am going to go ahead and make my swimsuits and hopefully remember to make another video so you can see what the finished pieces are. And I may add a video when I serge a piece and tuck in the end serged seam. But okay, well, thank you for watching.